Welcome back to the PAC Sports Network for our halftime show as we're at the break between Bethany and Waynesburg. And we now have the pleasure of being joined by the head coach of Bethany men's basketball, Coach Brandon Thorsen. Coach, first off, thanks so much for joining us today. I know it's probably a very special season for you since it's your first year at the helm as the head coach for Bethany men's basketball. How has this season been for you to this point so far?
Hey Jack, well, first off, thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure getting the chance to talk with you. So far it's been kind of a whirlwind in a sense. Being stepping into a new role, but it's been a joy. It's been amazing to get to coach this group. We got a really good group of guys within our program that I love to get to coach every single day. It's been hectic a little bit at first, but I'm starting to get my feet and figure it out, and I'm loving every second of it. So it's been going well so far.
Well, I know that you've been on staff, or at least with Bethany, for a few years now, and now officially elevated to the head coach. But I want to go back in time after your playing career at Penn State Barron. What got you into coaching and kind of taking you down this path?
Yeah, so I come from a basketball family. My dad was a high school basketball coach in the Western PA area, having coached at Bethel Park, Keystone Oaks, Upper St. Clair. So I've been around coaching my entire life. He was my first coach growing up, so I learned everything I know from him. And then on top of that, I have an older brother who is also a basketball coach. He is currently the associate head coach at United States Military Academy, so Army. He loves it there. So I've been kind of around coaching my whole life, and I don't want to short my mom as well. She was a coach too, where she used to coach cheer and dance at the high school level. So kind of a coaching tree in our family just alone. So got my feet wet from an early age where I actually coached my first game when I was in sixth grade. I had a ankle injury. I wasn't able to play. And again, I mentioned my dad was our coach. He had to work that day. He couldn't make it. So I basically coached our sixth grade team on a sprained ankle. So knew from a young age that this is kind of what I wanted to get into.
Did you guys win the game? I have to know.
We did. We did.
Wow.
It felt pretty good. Started 1-0 as my coaching career.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's incredible. That's an awesome story. And obviously it's really in your bloodline with how your family has been so involved in basketball. And I think a great thing for you for your first year, you've really benefited for some great offensive weapons, Co Rose leading the way offensively. But then you got guys like Jaden Jackson, Ryan Reesbeck, Troy Hickson that have also kind of filled in nicely. How does Jackson and Reesbeck and Hickson all kind of complement Rose and kind of play off of him with Co Rose again being that main scoring threat?
Yeah, so getting Ko and Jaden this past year for us have been phenomenal. Those were two guys that we were blessed to add to our program this year. Ko does a really great job, creating not only for himself but for those other guys around him. Just like you mentioned, JJ, Riesbeck, Troy, those guys all benefit off of Ko's ability to get into the lane. He's very shifty, does a good job of getting downhill, again, creating for both himself, but he's an unselfish player as well, where he's also getting downhill, looking to create, making those right reads, and that's kind of where I put some trust in him. And obviously with Kobe being a senior, same thing with Troy and Reese. We kind of have that veteran leadership in a sense from just those three guys in our starting five, all having played a lot of minutes over their career, where those guys do a great job, and Jaden's still kind of young in his own sense, where he's played some minutes, but in the past, but this year he's really gotten that chance to kind of excel, and he's just ran with it, and he's done an amazing job with that.
Well, it sounds like you have a fantastic group to have for your first year as a head coach. Coach, before we let you run, I want to hear from you. Obviously, you want to make a lot of noise in their first year in the conference. What do you think it'll be in terms of making a deep run and getting to a PAC championship that can kind of get your team to that point this season?
Yeah, so, we have been, I think our biggest thing is just preaching consistency with this group. And for us to make that deep run, like you're talking about, that's going to be kind of what we need, where you see we just won a big game the other day against W&J. And then we've kind of struggled since a little bit where we didn't have our best game following that. And that's kind of where we're preaching is keeping that consistency, making sure that, we play that way we did against W&J every night. So if we want to make that deep run, I think that consistency that we're trying to preach is really what we need to get to.
Well, it sounds like you certainly have some good momentum behind you for the rest of the season. Coach, thanks so much for stopping by and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, Jack. It was great talking with you. Thank you for having me.
That's Bethany head men's basketball coach Brandon Thorsen. Stick with us. We'll have Bethany men's basketball player Ryan Reesbeck join us coming up next on the PAC Sports Network.